Believe me, the information I'm going to share will fundamentally transform your approach to visiting each destination. The majority of cruise passengers disembark their vessels totally unprepared for the concealed threats lurking at well-known locations such as Nassau, KSML, and Roten. Cruise companies certainly don't highlight these hazards in their attractive marketing materials, right? As they focus on marketing shore adventures to you, they remain silent about the theft-prone areas, transportation frauds, and health crises that surprise thousands of travelers annually. Right now, I'm revealing the 15 most essential security insights that might protect your holiday and potentially save your existence. Let's begin. Danger 1. The identification cord vulnerability. The majority of travelers fail to understand they're marking themselves as easy targets immediately upon leaving their vessel while displaying their cruise lanyards or badges visibly around their throats. Here's information that shipping companies would rather keep from you. Lawbreakers at well-visited ports deliberately focus on travelers displaying these clear cruise markers since they signal wealthy tourists lacking regional expertise. Action to take while aboard. Prior to getting off, inform your fellow travelers. Everyone needs to hide those identification cords entirely. We shouldn't broadcast that we're ship passengers. Store your vessel card in a protected pocket or concealed money pouch alternatively. Expert advice. When you require your ship card for re-entry, utilize a thin billfold or mobile case that conceals it fully yet allows quick access during security screening upon return. You may believe that preventing clear tourist signs is sufficient, however. Wait until you discover the accessory error that's financially devastating cruisers. Danger 2. The sparkle and snatch accessory theft. Here's information that will astonish you. Even imitation accessories can turn you into a victim at cruise terminals. Shipping companies would rather you remain unaware that criminals cannot distinguish your synthetic diamonds from genuine ones across the road. Plus, they have no interest in discovering through dangerous means. Action to take while aboard. Before exiting your room, inform your room attendant when questioned. We're storing all accessories in the vault today, including the decorative items. Utilize your cabin security box consistently, even for belongings you consider valueless. Expert advice. Pack one basic, affordable timepiece and secure everything else. Criminals frequently choose victims based on initial visual assessment, not real worth. Alright, this following tip may seem unbelievable, but believe me, it has protected passengers from hazardous circumstances more frequently than you would imagine. Danger 3. The crisis communication connection. The majority of travelers leave their vessels without any method to reach their floating accommodation should problems arise. Here's their concealed information. Your vessel maintains a round-the-clock crisis contact line that can arrange everything from health emergencies to missed departure times, yet they don't simply distribute it automatically. Action to take while aboard. Request from customer service. Could you supply the vessel's crisis contact information for port visits? Additionally, examine your key card reverse side, daily bulletin, or port guides. Occasionally, it's concealed obviously. Expert advice. Capture a screenshot and send the contact information to a relative at home. Should your device fail or be taken, you'll maintain alternative methods for obtaining assistance. However, listen, if you believe maintaining emergency contacts is beneficial, what I'm going to share next will entirely transform your destination research approach. Danger 4. The official warning concealment. Here's information that will astound you. Shipping companies keep running services to locations with current official travel warnings, and they aren't obligated to clearly show these alerts to travelers. What they prefer you don't discover is that terminals like Nassau, Mexican regions, and various Caribbean locations presently maintain increased danger classifications. Action to take while aboard. Prior to any port visit, question the shore adventure counter. What's the present U.S. State Department warning classification for today's location? Don't depend solely on cruise company safety presentations. Expert advice. Visit travel.state.gov personally before your voyage and capture screenshots of warnings for every port. Information serves as your strongest protection, even when the cruise company minimizes dangers. Currently, here's something that will entirely transform your port money management approach. Danger 5. The currency and card crisis plan. Regarding things they don't mention, the majority of travelers either carry excessive cash or depend completely on plastic, both approaches that can strand you during emergency circumstances. Here's what experienced cruisers understand. You require precisely the correct combination for optimal security and adaptability. Action to take while aboard. Inform customer service during money exchange. I require small denominations for neighborhood merchants and a backup card functioning internationally. Target $75 to $100 in regional currency plus a credit card without international fees. Expert advice: divide your cash between 2 concealed body locations and never transport all cards collectively. Should you experience theft, you'll maintain reserve funding. Currently, here's where things become truly fascinating: the tour reservation secret that might save your existence. Danger 6. The trustworthy adventure protection. Here's something they don't promote: reserving authentic adventures isn't solely about entertainment, it's about surviving in elevated risk terminals. What shipping companies prefer you don't realize is that travelers who explore independently in locations like Roten, Falmouth, or Nassau statistically face more dangerous circumstances. Action to take while aboard: question the shore adventure counter. Which terminals do you most emphatically suggest reserving organized tours versus solo exploration? For external bookings, utilize established operators like Shore Excursions Group offering return-to-ship assurances. Expert advice: even when you favor solo travel, reserve at minimum a transport element through a trustworthy operator. It's protection against being abandoned or victimized. Excellent! This following tip is completely new for 2025 and has protected numerous passengers from dangerous circumstances. However, before revealing the next insight, I require you to take important action. Are these insider recommendations proving beneficial? Then hit that like button immediately. It assists other intelligent cruisers in finding these valuable secrets too. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe and activate notification alerts, since I'm continuously discovering new cruise industry insights that can protect you significantly. Danger 7. The visitor group security network. The majority of travelers don't understand that criminals deliberately focus on isolated tourists who've separated from primary crowds. Here's what residents understand but won't share: remaining within view of other ship passengers and visitors isn't merely suggested, it's vital for your security at numerous Caribbean terminals. Action to take while aboard: inform your party. We remain in primary tourist zones and always stay where we observe other ship passengers. Don't allow adventure to override caution in unknown territories. Expert advice: when wanting to explore somewhat beyond typical paths, do so in groups of at least 4 individuals. And always inform someone of your intended route and return schedule. Here's something that will surprise you regarding those apparently enjoyable adventures. Danger 8. The dangerous activity truth assessment. Shipping companies don't want your awareness, but they profit from advertising hazardous adventures that place passengers in serious danger. What they conceal is that activities like novice underwater diving, ziplining, and shark interactions maintain considerably higher injury statistics at cruise terminals compared to established tourism locations. Action to take while aboard: question the medical facility. What are the most frequent injuries you address from shore adventures? Their response will be enlightening and assist your informed choices. Expert advice: when you lack certification or experience in an activity, avoid it during cruise terminals. The hurried training and unknown equipment generate needless dangers. Regarding dangers, this transport error has left passengers abandoned and financially ruined. Danger 9. The scooter rental snare. Here's what they definitely don't want your knowledge. Scooter rentals at cruise terminals are structured to separate you from your funds through damage frauds, injury responsibility, and mechanical issues that mysteriously emerge upon return. Even skilled riders become victims since they cannot confirm vehicle conditions in foreign locations. Action to take while aboard: when questioned about transport choices, inform the Shore Adventure Counter. We'll exclusively use your suggested licensed transport services. Avoid any rental involving 2-wheeled vehicles at cruise terminals. Expert advice: the funds saved on scooter rentals don't justify potential medical expenses, insurance claims, or fraudulent charges that frequently result. Currently, here's the most advanced secret regarding protecting your vacation investment. Danger 10. The Travel Protection Invisibility Shield. The majority of travelers assume their standard health coverage protects them internationally, but here's what shipping companies prefer you don't realize. You're essentially without coverage immediately upon stepping off that vessel at a foreign terminal. Medical evacuations from Caribbean islands can exceed $50,000, and your cruise company won't cover costs. Action to take while aboard: before your initial port, question customer service. Do you maintain partnerships with travel insurance providers for emergency coverage? Don't assume protection without specific international travel medical coverage. Expert advice: Seek policies that specifically include pre-existing medical conditions and adventure activities when planning excursions. The least expensive policy frequently excludes precisely what you need most. However, listen, if you consider insurance important, what I'm going to reveal regarding port frauds will completely shock you. Danger 11. The fraudulent staff member scheme. Here's information that will astound you. Scammers at popular cruise terminals have mastered impersonating ship crew members to deceive passengers into dangerous circumstances. What they don't want your awareness of is that statements like, "I was your server," or "I work on your vessel and this is my family business," are typical setups for theft and worse. Action to take while aboard. Inform your dining staff. If we encounter you in port, we'll acknowledge you, but we won't accompany you anywhere. Authentic crew members understand and honor passenger limits during port visits. Expert advice. Legitimate staff members will never approach you forcefully in ports or attempt leading you from main tourist zones. When uncertain, move toward other ship passengers or security. Finally, here's the transport secret that distinguishes smart travelers from victims. Danger 12. The authorized taxi connection. Shipping companies don't advertise this. However, unauthorized taxi operators at popular ports run complex frauds targeting ship passengers. Here's their concealed information. Legal taxi locations display rates publicly and maintain standard pricing, while unauthorized operators negotiate costs specifically to overcharge tourists. Action to take while aboard. Question customer service. Where are the official licensed taxi locations at today's terminal? And what are standard rates to popular locations? Armed with this knowledge, you cannot be overcharged or exploited. Expert advice. Licensed taxis frequently display rate cards or meters. When a driver refuses showing standard rates or wants negotiation, leave immediately. You may think preventing taxi fraud suffices, but wait until you observe this theft prevention method. Danger 13. The anti-theft fortress approach. The majority of travelers make themselves easy victims by carrying open bags and carelessly displaying valuables. Here's what security professionals understand, but shipping companies don't stress. Criminals at busy terminals can steal items from open bags within seconds, and you'll never recover them or your possessions. Action to take while aboard. Before disembarking, inform your cabin attendant. We're only carrying secured bags with closures today. Men should transfer wallets to front pockets, and everyone should maintain bags closed and held firmly. Expert advice. For beach visits, purchase a waterproof waste container that goes beneath your clothing. Leaving valuables concealed in beach bags resembles displaying a "Please rob me" notice. Alright, this following tip is especially important for European cruise terminals. Danger 14. Theft capital protection. Here's something they definitely don't want your knowledge. European cruise terminals like Barcelona, Rome, and Naples maintain professional theft teams that specifically target ship passengers. What residents understand but tourists don't is that these criminals can identify ship passengers from significant distances and employ distraction methods that would deceive even cautious travelers. Action to take while aboard. Before European terminals, question customer service. What are the specific theft warning indicators and methods we should monitor at today's location? Understanding local tactics serves as your best protection. Expert advice. At crowded European terminals, maintain one hand on your most valuable bag constantly, and exercise special caution around street entertainers, petition collectors, and anyone offering directional assistance. Regarding European terminals, this passport choice could determine your trip's success or failure. Danger 15. The passport dilemma resolution. Here's the final secret that might protect your entire vacation. Shipping companies provide contradictory guidance about carrying passports in ports, leaving passengers confused and potentially stranded. What they don't want your awareness of is that immigration regulations differ by nation, and being discovered without proper identification can result in refused re-entry to your vessel. Action to take while aboard. Question customer service specifically for today's terminal. What identification is absolutely necessary and what are consequences of not possessing it? Different terminals maintain different regulations and generic guidance proves insufficient. Expert advice. Always transport government-issued photo identification, such as a driver's license. Photograph your passport pages and email copies to yourself. This provides multiple identification layers without risking your actual passport to theft. Therefore, which security recommendation are you implementing initially? And what's your personal secret cruise port survival strategy? Share it in the comments so we can all navigate more intelligently and securely together. Believe you're prepared to handle cruise terminals like an expert? Wait until you observe my following video revealing the concealed port shopping secrets that could save hundreds on souvenirs and regional merchandise. Click like, share this with your cruise companions, and subscribe to join thousands of savvy travelers who refuse accepting needless risks. Until next time, pleasant sailing.